Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria, or should I say, good morning to you, you scurvy dogs. It's International Talk Like, I don't know if it's international. It's in some parts of the world, it's International Talk Like a Pirate Day today. So I would prefer it rather than our customary Hola, bon dia, alegria. Welcome to the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. Perhaps you could address me as though I were your captain this morning. It'd be nice to see a few piratical comments in the chat. T-Doc off to a fantastic start. Smash that like button, mateys, or I'll make you walk the plank here in Portugal. Although that's sounding like the West Country in Cornwall now, suddenly. But perhaps that's where pirates originally came from and where Johnny Depp did all of his stereotypical pirate training in the southwest of the UK. Anyway, yes, Pirate Day today. Share comments in the chat in a pirate style, if you will. We've got Richard Basset joining us, who's a guest of our co-host, Veronica, this morning, and Carl Hyde will be along at around 9:30 with some timeless luxury. In the meantime, in a couple of minutes, we'll bring Veronica and Richard on. Just want to update you on the fire situation, which it seems very important to continue to do. Portugal, there you go. That's very good, T-Duck. Let's go to your comments in just a moment as well. If you've got any fire updates, that would be good. The wildfire situation in Portugal, of course. If you've got any updates about what's going on in your area, do let me know. Make sure you're safe. Check in. It's been a great place to check in. We know that Byrandy's okay, who was in the Aveiro district where some of the worst fires were, of course, which seem to have calmed. So morning to you as well, a Swede in Portugal. Anna back in Portugal again soon. Right, let's just have a very quick look at fogos.pt, which is, of course, where you can go to find out what's going on. And we'll see from the map here that, I mean, there's still loads of wildfires around Portugal. And the main fire still, it has the support of 315 operatives there, 90 vehicles and 5 aircraft still firefighting in that central northwestern part of Portugal. That seems to be where the epicenter of the fires currently is, as it's moved east from the original and shocking scenes that we saw from Albergaria in the Aveiro district in the last few days. So they still need our help. People in the community will still need help. The Bombeiros definitely still need help with water, energy bars, and other support. Maybe pop into your local station and ask them what they want there. We'll be doing that later on today and see how they can be supported. But you'll see from that picture there, fogos.pt, what's going on around the country. There are still fires in progress in the northwestern part of the country. If I change that to the IPMA situation, and we go to the forward look at the weather, which of course has been part of the conditions that have created some awful conditions, basically, for the wildfires, in which the wildfires take place. That is still the situation today, as you can see on your screen there at IPMA, on heightened, elevated alert, as you can see there in the purple color, and elevated in the orange as well. So the deep purple, as it were, has gone, apart from that one area I've just showed you where the intensity of the fires remains. And as we go through into the next couple of days, the picture changes quite drastically, which can only be a good thing. So the alert we're anticipating a lowered alert, moderate and reduced alert around the country. However, as we go into next week, well, you can see on Sunday, it's looking good. Everything is reduced pretty much with moderate alert, and back down to the Algarve for some of that high alert or much elevated, I should say, down there in the Algarve. And then coming back into next week, some concerns there may be within the weather situation there as well. So keep an eye on that too for your forward planning on IPMA, and find out what's going on at any given time in real time at fogosh.pt. Okay, morning to you, Wayne. Carpe Diem's in this morning. Mike and Karen, Antonio F. Barrack is here. Lord and Lady Travanka are in. James, Pete, and of course, Coach Turner and James, who were in earlier on. Let's give her a nice big round of applause and bring her onto the screen now. American in Portugal, Veronica. Good morning to you. How are you doing?
Hello. Good morning. Bon dia.
Bon dia, Algria. How are you? Oh, you didn't address me as a pirate, though, I noticed there, Veronica. How is your pirate? What? Oh, you scared me. Yes, I don't suppose
you have to speak like a pirate.
You do. Do you not often get the opportunity to do that in the Algarve?
No, it's not something we do here. It must be a northern thing.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm so sorry for the fires. Are any near your area? I'm sure you can smell the smoke. And
we've been very fortunate here. They're a long way from us. You know, you're not unused to wildfires in the Algarve, of course, but it seems most of what's been going on, the horror that we've seen, is in the central and northwest, a long way from us. We could see in the sky, you know, the dimmed skies with smoke and debris in the sky, but a long way from us, thankfully. So just turning our attention to how we can help people who have been affected. And that's the thing now, isn't it? You know, it will go off the news agenda, but a lot of people's lives have been, you know, in some cases absolutely ruined and turned upside down. And we need to keep an eye out for those and see how we can help with people. So, yeah, thanks for asking. Not too bad here on the Silver Coast. We've been very fortunate, and our attention really is on the northwest and central at the moment. And to, hope that it doesn't erupt again in this late summer that we seem to be having here in Portugal. Apart from that, Veronica, how are you doing? How is life?
I'm doing fabulous. You know what? Everything has been fabulous.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear it. You look fabulous. You sound fabulous this morning.
Thanks. I didn't stay up. Well, I stayed up till midnight, but I was
just
editing
like
and uploading.
Same. So many people busy editing late at night. All you YouTubers.
Well, because you get started on a project in the morning, and before you know it, it's night. The editing takes forever. And I think I've said this across all platforms. Please, if you're an editor and you'd like a project, I've tons of content.
So you're looking for some support. Okay. Well, there's a great opportunity.
If anyone enjoys it, I know there's a few people that said they enjoy editing. I'm like, oh, cool.
Weirdos. Yeah, absolutely. Who would enjoy video editing? It's great fun getting all the information, isn't it? And talking to people, as we're going to do with Richard in just a moment. But then you realize, don't you? I've just captured 3 weeks of footage. Now I've got to sit down for 12 weeks and edit it all. Oh, okay. All right. Let's bring Richard on.
That's about right.
It is. Let's bring Richard on. He's a very exciting project that you've alerted us to, and you've produced a fantastic video. The video is out now. The fruit of your hard work, earlier and other hard work, is available to be seen on your channel. I got your newsletter yesterday. I mean, it's amazing what you do, the integrity and depth of your work. I'm a bit quick and dirty when it comes to production. You are so conscientious with your work, including your newsletter and how you go about this. And I think you've done Richard proud. So let's have a chat with him now. Give him a nice big round of applause. Richard Basset is here, everybody. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Captain.
Not too bad. Little bit more. You know, the jargon. The accent, I'm not so sure about. How's it going, Richard?
Yeah, very well, thank you. How are you?
The timbers. I'm all right. The scurvy's not too bad at the moment. Plenty of vitamin C for that. So yeah, no, I haven't had a scurvy flare up for a little while now. So yeah, I'm doing.
Hi, Veronica.
Hi, Richard. I feel like I've been with you all day long because I was editing our video all day.
Late last night as well, yeah. Well done. It looks great, by the way.
Doesn't it just?
Oh, thanks. I would have liked more overlays, but, you know, with time.
Who doesn't like an overlay first thing in the morning? Indeed. Richard, you've been busy too, of course. Not up all night editing, but up all night considering how this project is going to work, and during the day, presumably working hard on the plot, on the site as well. We did have a chat with you a little while ago, and we had an early walkthrough, didn't we, with you, Veronica? Where are we at now, Richard? Oh, actually, before we go any further, if anyone is not familiar with what you're doing, could you give us a little bit of a heads up on the project itself in the Algarve there?
Okay, yeah. What we're doing is trying to create a I suppose essentially it is a mini retirement village. We've got a 32 bedroom, which started out as a hotel, but we were building it as a wheelchair friendly hotel. So now sort of realizing the lack of facilities they are for care, should anyone need it, in the Algarve, and in fact, the whole of Portugal, for the expat community. We just think that there is a real need for it. And so that's the direction we're heading for now. So we've got, as I said, 32 double rooms that are wheelchair friendly. They have wet rooms. And it's on quite a large plot. There's a lot of facilities with spa, indoor pool, outdoor pool. There's a restaurant, and basically the idea is to have this facility, but not be just a care home. We're looking for a kind of a village that encourages anyone to come and visit. So the place is open to the public. Obviously, there are private areas for the care facility, but on the same plot, as it were, just a few meters away, we've got a restaurant and an event hall that to encourage people to come. So to make it more of a place that you live and enjoy the rest of your life, should you need 24-hour care.
This is so good on so many levels, isn't it, Veronica? It's needed because people move to Portugal and think, I'd like to spend the rest of my life here. And part of that, of course, might mean needing a bit of care in later life. But it sounds wonderful. It just sounds like it's challenging the stereotypes of care homes and senior living arrangements, Veronica. And I think that's why you're particularly excited about it, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it because he's really bringing together the sense of community. You know, he's out by Font de Bispo, which is fountain, right? So he's got natural running water. He doesn't have to, go off of, the grid. So he can have, 3 swimming pools, one open to the public, one that's a thermogenic, like spa type pool, right? It's like a Turkish bath.
There's a Turkish bath. Yeah, it sounds like a hydrotherapy.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, so in addition to that, bringing together, I like that he said it's a village, because a village kind of says community. And it's what he's already done, is bringing together, the elder with the younger and getting everybody involved. He's going to be allowing the residents to see the doctors. So he'll have doctors coming in speaking multiple languages. And I think we need to talk to, I've kind of touched on that, but I think we need to have Richard explain why, there's only 2 expat facilities in all of Portugal, right? And why it's so important for an expat to be in an expat facility versus a Portuguese facility.
Yeah, not that there's anything wrong with well, there might be things wrong. I mean, care homes all over the world, there seems to be the subject of some controversy from time to time. But yes, I think when you're old and perhaps you're a little bit more vulnerable, it might be nice to be in a somewhat more familiar surrounding, which is I think what you're hinting at there, Veronica. Yeah, what do you say about that, Richard?
Yeah, that's exactly right. As you said, there are plenty of care homes here. Run by Portuguese, but basically for Portuguese. Yeah. And, I'm sure some of the staff will speak English, but it's probably not going to be all of them. But more importantly, you're going to be surrounded by Portuguese people speaking Portuguese. Now, I've been here since 2007. I speak a little, but I certainly, still feel lost in a room full of people speaking Portuguese. So, that's basically where this idea is about, really. So you can enjoy your later years, so in comfort, surrounded by people you can communicate with.
Yep, very good. And you didn't mention the dance floor. I'm guessing in a senior living, a care home for our age, and I guess a lot of our experiences here are to do with our parents and grandparents, aren't they? And being children, being taken to senior living facilities to visit grandparents. And what you're talking about is so different. Yeah. And I'm hoping there's going to be a dance floor and a DJ booth there. And my imagination of it is that Saturday night will be a rave. It won't be an argument over the remote control, which is how I remember my dad or my grandma's care home. It's like the politics of aging and people arguing over about which TV. The one telly in a big day room which then, on Saturday evening, it's great big TV on the wall. It looks like something from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And the bossiest old person wins. I don't think yours is going to be anything like that. And what I'm hoping on a Saturday night is like in the distance. And then you come in, there's a load of oldies, some using Zimmer frames if necessary, some in wheelchairs if necessary, but a lot of people on the dance floor. And there's going to be tattoos and piercings. These are the old people to come, aren't they? Who are going to be comparing. Have I shown you my tattoo? So, yeah, you showed me last Saturday, but show me again because it's fantastic. And
Carl, I know it's Pirate Day, but you've been on the rum already, haven't you?
Am I going too far with your concept here? Forgive me.
I think the tattoos is the next generation. I think that's Gen X. They'll all be comparing their faded tattoos from their young years. And everybody's got a tattoo today.
This tattoo used to be on my neck, and now look where it is now.
Do you have a tattoo, Carl? Let's go random.
But I tell you, if Richard opens up, then there's a tattoo artist on site. I will get one in my golden years. Sorry, Richard, I'm having a bit of fun with this.
No. You're right. Actually, you're right.
It's going to be a fun place. Isn't it?
You're right. There will be music. There will be. Why not?
Yeah.
You don't just become in need of care overnight.
Yeah.
It's just because one day, 1 year you go out and you enjoy music and you enjoy a glass of wine. It doesn't mean that when you're sick that all of a sudden that all goes. If you need, just because you need care, it doesn't mean you don't still want to enjoy those parts of your life.
Well,
now you go into a regular care home, that pretty much finishes. You're there, and the quickest way down is not to do anything. It's slippery slope when you sat there and you're not doing anything. So these things need to carry on. You still need to be able to go and have a glass of wine with your friends and have some music and enjoy, live life as best as you can, as close to what you used to do. So that's what we're really. I mean, you're right, and I know you're joking, but it's pretty true what you're saying. It's there's gonna be music. There's gonna, I don't know about rave music, but there'll be music nights on and the things that you normally do.
The badge of honor when the GNR turn up asking everyone to turn it down. It's like,
it's going to have to be loud, isn't it?
But they won't. But they won't,
right?
Because how many acres is it on, or hectares?
Oh yeah. So tell us more about this site then, because we had a walk around with Veronica.
Yeah, it's a big plot. It's a big site, 52,000 square meters. The build is 4,300, which sits on because it's a big plot. There's plenty of gardens, plenty of space around for. To enjoy, it's not built as a care home on a plot a little bit bigger than the building. We've got a lot of grounds, a lot of space, and it's very peaceful, but only 15 kilometers from Tavira.
Yeah.
So it's easy to get there, easy to get to Olhão, easy to get to Fuzeta. It's although it is in the countryside a little bit, it's only 15 minutes away from anywhere really.
Yeah.
But you're by Sal Brashtier Portel also, right?
It's closer to Tavira.
Oh, is it closer to Tavira than Sal
Brash? A little, I think. Maybe in the middle, I think. I've
ended up there accidentally going to my friend Mandy's house when I take the exit. Go the wrong way.
So there's a lot to do on site, as Veronica was saying. There's pools.
Yeah, there's a lot to do, and it's difficult to explain, but how we built it, because it was built as a hotel.
Nice.
So what we built it as a hotel with a private kind of around a courtyard. So and that was kind of as a guest, that courtyard with the pool in and some gardens was the private area. And now, as a care home, it works because that private area is now not only private, but safe. It's a contained area within the holiday complex part, as it were.
Yeah. And
the restaurant is as you enter. So the events and the restaurant is not quite attached, but they're separate, but very close together. So the way it pans out, it works very well as a care home.
And more of a village than a facility. That's long been the problem, hasn't it, with these sorts of places, where people have. I guess schools are similar. Wherever you put people of the same age together, it can become a little bit institutional. And you've got the safety concerns, obviously keeping young people and old people safe. The simplest way of doing that is to throw up a great big fence and lock them in, as well as locking people out. You're locking people in, aren't you? But it sounds like
again.
He's
turning into a pirate again.
Yeah, will there be a plank? No. And so this will have those edges will be a bit blurred in a way, won't they? So people will come to the restaurant. And as I recall from our previous conversation, this is a lovely touch. If people want to come and visit grandma, granddad, they can come as a family and actually have a holiday in Portugal and stay nearby. And everyone can have some fun that way, can't they?
Yeah, that's right. We have so there's the 32 rooms, but there's also 6 one-bedroom cottages.
Nice.
So they are available if somebody wanted to come and spend some time with whoever, your family member. You can actually stay on site in one of these cottages. You can still have a normal holiday. You can use the pool that's there, if you like. The facilities are all there, the restaurant's there, but also you can do your own thing. And that, you come back and they're safe and you can see them. You can take them out and do whatever you want with them,
Yeah.
But if someone's not in this country, it's somewhere that they can come and stay and visit, which we think is important.
Yes, yeah, superb. We will get to your question, James. It's a good one. When it's going to be ready. The reason why I'm asking when it's going to be ready, some people are thinking, well, I just don't even want to talk about this subject. I'll deal with it when I get there. And it's an understandable human response, isn't it? However, it might be useful to at least have a conversation about it. Other people are thinking, hold on a minute, I can get looked after in the Algarve, restaurant, pools. Can I sign in next week? That's some people will be thinking like that, won't they? So and what level of care must people require in order to qualify? So what's to stop people just using it as a hotel straight away as soon as you've built it?
That's fine. That can happen. Yeah, honestly, that can happen. And part of the one-bedroom cottages that we're talking about, should somebody be less dependent, if they're fine to get around on their own, but they're on their own, maybe.
Yes,
and they might need some help, and just that security, so that's fine. If somebody wants to do that, that's no problem at all. So there's no limit to how little care you need.
That's very good.
In the future, we've got extra space that we can build on the property, so we're thinking about maybe in the future a dementia center or something like that. There's plenty of space to do that, but I think that's quite important to at least have in mind. To answer,
you've got your eye on long-term capacity,
expansion and taking care of the needs that are out there.
And client-centered. So, and it's interesting, isn't it? With I've heard of a care home that somebody needed to get for their elderly parent when they came as an expat here in Portugal, and they discovered that there was a couple there that were barely there, but because of the relative inexpensive-ness of living in such a way here in Portugal, they decided, I think, not to rent a home, but to have a place in this senior living place in Portugal near Fatima, and that was their base. And they went traveling and touring, but they knew they could go back and be cared for or looked after if they needed it, to whatever level they required, if any. That's right. But they had the base, but they didn't go for buying a home or renting a home long term. They had this. They saw this opportunity. So okay, so we can have our medical, health, and daily needs cared for and be cared for if we want to. But for the rest of the time, we'll just go off touring and doing our own thing around the world, which sounds like a brilliant hybrid life.
Well, this is one of the things that we're offering. Veronica touches it on her video. One of the things that we're offering is the option that somebody could actually buy into the place now. So they could buy a room now, and what we'll do is we'll have that room for you should you need it, or should a member of your family or friends need that room in the future. But in the meantime, we'll use it until you need it, and we'll pay you a return on what you've invested. So it is, as you said, we're talking about having a place that you can think, all right, 5 years time, I might need something like this, 10 years time, or, my friend who's, a little older might need something soon. You can buy one of these places, it's sort of the way we're looking at it is a lifetime lease or a long-term lease. And should you need it, you know, it's there for you. And if you don't, or until you do, you get a return on your investment.
Very good. So there's an investment opportunity as well. This is excellent. Right. He's teasing us with this, I think, James. And now for the topic few want to broach: estimated projected time of completion, cost of living there. We're not afraid to go there. But before we do have a tattoo artist for the project. Bring
my tattoo besides my knitting needles.
Yeah, I'm bringing my tattoo equipment with me. Besides my knitting needles, I hope they're not the same kit, frankly. I've been tattooing over 30 years, so you're safe in my hands, sort of. We don't want a sort of safety, Jackie.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be a hoot.
That could be a whole different license. I don't know. I think you might have to go off-site. That could make the insurance go up quite significantly.
Yes, right. What a great service, says Aviva. Good morning to you, Aviva in Madeira. So yes, the topic apparently few want to broach. When's it going to be ready, and what will it cost to live there approximately? I'm guessing you have to make a sort of an estimation at this stage of things.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you can look at, you know what it's like here in Portugal for a start, so it's very difficult to say.
It depends.
Yeah, but yes, that's not a good enough answer. The best scenario, the place could be finished in 6 months. There's literally, officially, it's just over 90% complete. There are 2 areas that most of the work needs to be done, which is the bistro, which is built. It just needs the interiors finishing, and the indoor pool, which again is built, but it needs just finishing, fitting out. So, and the other thing is the air conditioning system is half done, so that needs to be finished as well. But they're the 3 main things. And of course, I don't know if you've got any photos to show, but Veronica's got them on her video. There's quite a lot of land that needs landscaping, but that's something that progresses, that will work on its own. But you know, it can look good within 6 months. You know, and then it will mature. They're mature gardens anyway. It was originally an olive farm, so we've still got a lot of the olive trees there. We've got fig trees, we've got pomegranate trees, we've got oranges, lemons, limes, and carobs. You know, so it is quite mature and the palm trees are everywhere. So the gardens are mature, but that's another thing. But so there's not that much to do. 10% left to do. But so what we're doing now is literally, you know, honestly, we're trying to find ways of completing the project.
Yep.
And
okay.
this is one of the options. One of the options is to offer it to people that they can take advantage of this chance, this opportunity. They don't come along often. You know, there's not another opportunity like this out there where you can actually say to yourself, all right, I can now pretty sure spend the rest of my life here in the Algarve. So yeah, you've got the video going there.
Yeah, we're rolling the VT in the background, as it were. So what do you think will be the sort of benchmark cost of being a client in this facility?
Well, we're looking at basically there's only one other care home in the Algarve that's similar to this. Yeah, I would say we're closer to 5-star. That's what we're aiming for, but we're putting our costs about the same level as there, which is 1,400 euros a week, which is expensive. We know that, but the amount of staff that we need to employ to it's just how it is. You know, care is staff, and what we want to do is we don't want to just employ staff. We want to employ the best staff. So for us, it's really key that we get staff and we keep staff. And for me, the only way to do that is pay them well, treat them well, and you know, you get what you pay for.
Well, it's true, isn't it? I mean, we know what happens when corners are cut and costs are cut. That has a direct reflection in the standard of care in a care home, doesn't it? So I totally get what you're saying there. And James is very cheeky, isn't he? So 3 to 5 years, and I don't think it's going to be as long as that.
I'm going to say I visited it. It's 90% done. So clearly he's already gotten the planning permission, which is the hardest part, right? To get all the permission before. I like throwing out the positive 6 months because it's almost done, now could something pop up? Absolutely could, something happen, but he's there. I mean, it's not like where I've seen people try to get planning and it just takes years to plan. But once they get going, once they've got the permission, then it's rocking and rolling. It's getting that pre-planning. And again, he's 90% there. I mean, I saw it, and I'm not getting commission for this, guys. This is just something that I believe in, something that
I think you've been inspired by this, haven't you?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I mean, I'd like to be there. And I like that. I think one of the things we're missing and why we gather all together as expats is because you need that familiarity when you first land somewhere. And that's why in my town, I kind of, was having the parties and the get-togethers and the introduction. But you do have to be careful not to stick in that forever, like branch out, get to know Portuguese people, get to know locals. But I think when you're a senior, to then start that is a little more difficult. So if you're a senior, to be back in that comfort zone, and we're very fortunate that most people speak English, right? I mean, it's kind of that common language. So where, I know it's your native language and mine, we're so fortunate because when we get together at an expat table, the Dutch, they speak English, the French, the Spanish, and we all speak our Portuguese, but there's so many variants of language accents from town to town that even just next door in Monte Gordo, which is only 4 kilometers away, it's a completely different accent. Like we can't understand each other when we're speaking our Portuguese. And from the north to the south, we're all talking like this down here. They do not understand us. So you imagine being in a home where
you're checking a pirate accent and we're done. Yeah.
Right. So
some good points.
I want to stay positive with it. That and again, 6 months is the minimum, right, Richard? But
6 months. I mean,
it's done.
But it can be done, and I completely understand what the old guy in Europe is saying. 2 to 3 years. I get that.
The grumpy old guy in Europe. Yeah.
We like him.
He's seen. I've been here for long enough to know that things can take long and usually do. What we've done to try and prevent that is we've got the original builder standing by. He knows the project inside out. He can. We've also got the architect. We're also in contact with the local camera. The ball is still rolling as far as that's concerned. So really, also the other thing we've got, which works well, is because we've got the accommodation there, because the accommodation is ready. The team of builders that come in have got somewhere to stay. A lot of the problems are actually putting up if you need a team of 15, 20 guys and they're traveling from wherever they are, it's a logistical nightmare to get these things running. We've got
that's very convenient.
It's there. We've got the 8, because we've actually also got 8 staff rooms that are fully functional, and the 6 one-bedroom cottages are fully functional as well. So they're complete.
Those builders don't want to leave, I suspect.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is how it was before. They had fun. It was a good fun job to do, and they did a fantastic job. You walk around the place now, and it's been a few years since any work's been done on there, but everything's immaculate. It's Veronica will agree. We're really pleased with the place.
Yeah, we've got the Limey in Lisbon. We've got Carl Hyde joining us in a couple of minutes. Actually, the old guy in Europe loves the concept and the implementation. My hope is that you'll be the leading example for many more to come in Portugal. So there you go. He was just doing a bit of live due diligence on the screen there, but I think
I like him.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to get used to dealing with old guys in Europe.
I know we're running out of time, but we do go more in depth, and I'm not promoting my video, but we go way in depth.
No, you have to watch that. You have to. Veronica's got a lot of time in that.
Yeah, no problem with you.
But it's really for you. It's for the community. I don't make any money off doing the video, off, visiting there and putting the time into it and coming on here. This is just a free thing. Please, take a look, see if it's for you, see if it's something you want to get involved in, because it pulls at my heart that bring the community together with the seniors, because the seniors get isolated. And that was one thing you touched on, Richard, when we talked about that. When people say, oh, it's so cheap to hire care, so I'll just keep my elder person in their home and bring in care every day. Well, where's all your friends? Where's all your, where's all your activity? Where's, your day to day, it's just your bed. And
you got it spot on there. That's, it's what we're trying to do is just get people to think ahead and have a plan. And Veronica, you're right there. And as much as I've spoken to a lot of people and said, I'll be fine, I'll deal with that when the time comes.
Yes.
Not actually realizing that, okay, fine, if you're the one who does need care, but you do need to realize that your partner, their life is also over at that same time. All the things that they want to do. If you need care, they're looking after you. Yeah. So all the things that they want to do, all their social life, if they're golfers, if they go bowling, if all those things, they stop.
Yep.
And there's also the fact that people say, I'll get a carer to come in, which is fine as well. You'll have a carer come in and you'll be pretty much isolated in your home with your carer. The community thing is gone. Friends will visit you for a little while, but unfortunately that's not forever. And there's that to consider. But it's I'm not saying this is the answer for everyone. What we're saying is have a plan, because the reason there aren't any kind of red flags as to why there is only 2 facilities like this in the whole of the Algarve is because there is an option. And that option is to go back to the UK or go back to the Netherlands or go back to Canada or go back to America. Yeah, that's happening. That's what we're seeing is happening. It's happening to friends.
And huge waiting lists.
Yeah.
So even if you decide I want to do it today, you've already linked up with a gal who's got 40 people on her waiting list. So something happens today, you go, oh, okay, I'll go somewhere today. I'm sorry, there's no space for you.
Right. Right. I need to bring Carl onto the screen.
Oh, sorry.
No, not at all. He's been very patient. He's waiting there in Lisbon. Just a beautiful day in Lisbon. He's not one to get upset, and we'll test his pirate accent out in just a moment as well. Because Carl, it is International Speak Like a Pirate Day, so we'll check out your entry, so to speak, in just a moment. In the meantime, Richard, thank you so much for coming. And please keep us up to date with how this unfolds. You're always welcome on the show here because it is a very important subject, and we thank you, Veronica, for bringing it to our attention and what Richard's doing this. All the best with it. So if anyone wants to get in touch, whether they want to use the facility themselves ultimately, or if they want to invest at the moment, they can get in touch with you via Veronica. Is that probably the best way to do it at the moment?
Yeah. We haven't put a whole filter to send them to him, but he does want to have some activity days or like an open house type day. But if you put just info@americanandportugal.com, and I see in the comments you've put the YouTube video, the information is there and below. So
perfect. Okay, and I'll bring my decks down, and we'll start as we mean to go on. We'll have a little bit of an ease up in the big room there as well. All right.
I like it. Thank you very much. Thank
all
you,
right. Cheers, Richard. You take care, mate. Good luck with it. Ciao, ciao. Brilliant work. Let's keep that applause going and bring on the limey in Lisbon. There he is. Oh, sorry to keep you, mate.
Good morning, mateys.
Arr, there we go. That's how you do it. Yes, scurvy dog. You see, there we go. It's the Brits that are the best at this pirate business. Probably. I mean, it's not a proud boast, is it? Given that that's because we are.
I don't know.
Well, Johnny Depp. Okay, fair enough. But I think he learned everything he in pubs in Bristol, didn't he, Carl?
Pubs in Manchester, maybe.
Pubs in. Is that how they speak in Manchester after a few?
Only, when we've had a few drinks, yeah.
Okay. Oh, talking of having a few drinks, it was lovely to see you at Lee's birthday party. Fantastic to see you there, mate. Had a lovely time. So thank you for your excellent.
I'm still recovering from that. So yeah. One day event for you turned into a 3-day event for me. So
did it really? So you were talking like a pirate, and you had no idea.
Well, I couldn't talk at the end of it. So yeah, no, I wasn't talking like a pirate.
Couldn't talk like anything. No. Right? Okay. Is this on your agenda? Not personally, but are you hearing this with clients about getting older, aging here in Portugal? The retirement plan, or that part of the retirement plan, having moved up sticks and moved to Portugal.
I think, to be honest with you, most of my clients sort of aren't in that area, but I know there's more and more people that are doing that. Elder, more senior citizens than that coming from the UK, from the US. So I think it's probably a growing market. You know what I mean? As people, people of all age ranges, all groups want to come here. So yeah, I mean, facilities like the one that Veronica's been talking about this morning, I think they're a no-brainer, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and sounds better than the oldies. Morning, Squire. Sounds better than the oldies in the UK. In dorm rooms. Oh my goodness, that is a grim picture, isn't it?
Oh, no.
And medicated to oblivion. So we'd rather be in the Algarve having a man cave reunion in the sunshine, I think, there. With a different kind of medication, I think, out on the terrace. So it's
medication. That's the best kind.
Yes, absolutely. And apparently the American English R is the pirate R. So, okay, all right, I withdraw my comment.
American. If you do the America, that's the Southeast. It's a little bit
I listened to a YouTube video recently where they were saying like Jamaican accents and things like that, some Caribbean accents have their roots in like Devon and places like that in England.
Of course. The
way they pronounce some of the words, the origins are from the south of England, because obviously all the history, of shipping and things like that.
Well, I'd never heard of talk like a pirate until my friend Lawrence and Sally would always be bringing it up. Talk like a pirate, talk. And he was in my old town of El Segundo. And I couldn't figure out, well, where is this coming from? I've never heard of this. And it just clicked. He's British. He was on the show. If you ever watch Baggage Battles, he was the crazy one. I don't know. It was a big show in America.
Baggage Battles? What's that?
It's okay. It was. Did you?
Lisbon Airport on a Monday morning.
Well, Container Wars. Did you ever see the container where people would buy containers?
Oh yes, yeah. You have a little auction, don't you, outside a container? Yeah.
Well, they used to go to his shop in LA because it was so close to the LA studios, movie studios. So they'd go to his antique shop to have some of the stuff valued. It was such a character that they had a spin-off show called Baggage Battles, where you actually buy baggage, unclaimed baggage. You buy your lost baggage. It got lost somewhere. If you don't claim it and it's not identified and sent back to you, it goes to this huge warehouse and they auction it off. So then these people buy it sight unseen. So maybe it's a Louis Vuitton and they buy it and it's got Rolexes in it. Or
just a load of dirty clothes.
Yes, and that happens too. So it's hilarious. Right. So he was on that, and it was funny because when we came to Portugal, my husband and I, before he passed away, we were watching the telly, one of the shows as we're doing our scouting trip, and they were on it. We texted them, "We're watching you in Portugal," and they've been dubbed in Portuguese. And so he came up and visited here in the Algarve a few years later. And it's the whole string, talk like a pirate. It's a British thing. And then you're spreading it around the world when your British people come live in
the empire. Yes. Well, we got a head start on it with the teeth, I think, and also wooden legs, that sort of thing. Parrots, rum. Oh, we'll take it. We'll take it, us Brits here, and it's R rather than R, which also is very British, isn't it? R. Baggage Battles. That also sounds like a program James could do. It sounds like a therapy show, doesn't it? Baggage Battles. Who is the most messed up this week? Find out after the break. As I unpack my baggage with a psychotherapist. Anyway, no, not really doing that this morning. We are here to talk about life in the Algarve and in Lisbon. What's going on, Carl Hyde?
Oh, well, just recovering from a very hectic summer, work-wise and sort of party-wise, having family here and that. So I'm just sort of now getting back into the rhythm. It's been really difficult, I've got to say, letting go.
Of your summer.
I've got summertime blues at the minute, getting back to reality.
Oh, bless you. And so, but you're going back to work for a rest, though, right?
I guess kind of, yeah. It's great having everyone here. I love it. I love that sort of 6 weeks in summer when it's just the house is full. But when everyone's gone and you can just sit back and chill out and sit by the pool, that's also heaven. So I'm very lucky, But yeah, back to reality. So yeah, I was back in Lisbon yesterday doing viewings. I got stranded over there for a while because we had this incident. I don't know if you saw it at the 25th of April bridge.
Oh, yes. Remarkable. So some baddies were tracked down to the bridge and the PSP stopped the car on behalf of the PJ and took down a fellow on the bridge there, right?
Well, actually, as I came across just after 11:30, I saw an undercover police car with the lights flashing in the front grille. And it came speeding up behind me, and I thought, I've not done anything. I'm driving normally. And then
first thing to go through your head. Yeah.
it stopped at the end of the bridge, and I thought, it's strange that it's not pulled anybody over. Well, that was just after 11:30, so they must have been sort of half an hour ahead, getting ready to close the bridge, thinking these guys are working their way down that way. So they were well in advance. So when I came to leave Lisbon, I only went to do one viewing, and it was just absolute chaos. So I was kind of stuck on that side for a bit, but you know, it doesn't happen often. But
well done, those officers. I think they'd actually chased some armed robbers, possibly from Leiria, all the way into the capital, and then apprehended at least one of them on the bridge.
I heard somewhere that we were from Sweden. They were Swedish or something like that. I don't know. So
okay, yeah. Well done. The Portuguese police, and how exciting! A big chase on. It's like the stuff of TV cop shows, isn't it?
No, it's every day in LA. Every day in LA. I've been caught in like 3 of those. It's every day in LA. You're like, oh man, you had to take the.
Here we go again.
We know how it ends. The cameras come out from the TV station. They're going to follow you. You're not getting away. Just stop.
Right.
Stop making me late.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a bit more exciting if you're in Lisbon. That doesn't happen very often, I think, as Carl discovered yesterday. Right. And you've got a lovely property for us today.
Yeah. I mean, you lined me up with the thumbnail for failure. So I'm going to show you, it's not a luxury property, but I've got a very nice property to show you today. It's actually not listed yet, but I'm hoping it'll be listed later today or early tomorrow sometime. But I think we can get a little sneak peek at the video, and
we like a pocket listing, don't we? So this is not even on the market.
Not on the interweb yet, no.
Not on the internet. Okay, so it's on the market. It is for sale. So let me bring it onto the screen here, and you can talk us through it. I think you know the area, is that right?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I know it quite well.
Right. Okay. Tell us more about the neighbourhood.
So this is in Araweira, which is where I live. It's actually my neighbour's house. So I live right next door to him. He's selling up. He's moving abroad, so he wants to sell his house. So what you've got
not because of the neighbours, though, right?
Well, I hope not. You know, I mean, he's chosen me to sell it, so I must be doing something right. You know? But yeah, so it's a T2 on a 650 metre plot. It was fully renovated in 2020. So everything's been done to it. It's basically brand new inside. Mature garden, lots of fruit trees. Beautiful. You know, large open plan living dining area. Yeah. Great kitchen. I mean, the outdoor space is just amazing. Air conditioned throughout. Insulated, everything. Just fully modernised. Beautiful little. I mean, I'd say in English like a bungalow style. You know, a moradia casa. So a really great place. And also, I mean, it's down as a T2, but if you could just stay on that picture there.
Okay, the office.
Back to that office, please.
Yeah.
So that is actually an open space. He had plans previously to go up another floor, and that was going to be a staircase, but that should actually be another room. So if you you'll see from another angle, if you cover the hallway up that leads from it, if you put a wall there or you put a door there, what you actually get is a T3. So,
and you say you can go into the roof space as well. Is that another option for?
Well, he had plans previously. I think the plan has actually expired, but it shows that there's the possibility to get approval. Sorry.
Okay. We're getting a sale already. This is very exciting.
You know, funnily enough, that's an agent who has a client who wants to buy this house. So there we go.
Lucky kids.
Put it out there.
Lucky kids who live here as well. I've not seen a bed really like that before. It is cute, isn't it? Yeah. And also, if you're pet crazy, that might be a nice little pet space.
Sorry, Carl, go back again, please. Just there was a hallway picture there. So that on the left-hand side of that picture, that's where that office space was. Now, if you block that wall off from the wall there, it becomes a T3. You know, so I mean, I know my neighbourhood. You don't get fully renovated T3s in a 650 metre plot.
And all the storage as well. This is fine.
Large driveway. I mean, you could fit probably 5 or 6 cars on there if you want to squeeze them, but easily 4. You know.
Oh, look at that! And you can sit out of an evening, and you can hear the fizzing of the insects over in the Araweira woods on the other side. This is a lovely place, isn't it? Isn't there going to be a man cave whip round, and then they can all move in next door to you? Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh, your missus wouldn't like that, would she? I suppose.
I don't think my missus would mind that at all.
You'd be there all the time. I guess you'd be out from under her feet, wouldn't you? You'd be next door. Just pop in next door. This is incredible. What a lovely place. What a lovely
Listen,
place.
if I had the money, I'd buy it myself and keep it for when family come. I really would. It's an amazing place. Like I say, I mean, you know where I live, so on the back side of it, and you're going to see some images in a minute, some drone photographs.
Oh,
You've got
okay.
the fossil coast directly behind the house, so you know
The what? The fossil coast? Did you call it?
It's the fossil coast, yeah. So I mean, it goes all the way from Caparica, the nearest beach to it. So that's the house there. You can just make out. You can see the bottom of the picture there is my garden, and then that road is at the back, to cut the trees from the houses. Obviously, I mean that's an ongoing issue throughout the country, but it's well managed in this area. But literally, you can go out of your back gate into that forest, and if you walk in a straight line for 1 kilometre down the pathway, you'll come to the cliff tops, and you'll be able to see this image behind me. My back screen here is the image that you get after walking 1 kilometre. So
very nice indeed. This is superb. This is lovely. And
1 minute before Tellia Beach, it's 20 minutes from Lisbon, and you've got amazing neighbours.
Well, I was just about to say that, Carl. You have got Fonte de Tellia, which I think is the best beach in that area. A lot of people know and love Costa de Caparica, of course, or Caparica itself. But you go to Fonte de Tellia, it's the most amazing beach, really wild and it feels very, very secluded and peaceful at one end, and then a few bars and restaurants on arrival. It's a fabulous, fabulous location.
Even the nudist beach further down, if that's your thing.
Not to mention,
private.
I have walked through it once or twice when I've been exercising. And,
were you lost, or did you mean to?
No, I was sort of doing a walk from Fonte de Tellia to Caparica, trying to drop a few pounds, and I just sort of look out to the ocean when I'm on that bit, because you do get, it is a good mile or 1.5 kilometers from where Fonte de Tellia is. You've got to really walk the way along to get to it.
Is that in the particulars? Nudist beach nearby? Yeah, that'd be a great.
The thing is, you get fellas stood there, all just looking out onto the sea, kind of thing, all naked, and I just think.
That's what I would do, wouldn't you? I mean,
okay. Thank you.
I saw that in Spain. We're walking along the beach, and they're so proud. They're like, "Everybody, look at me."
Proud, yeah. Proud.
If you've got it flaunted.
Not too proud.
Not too proud.
Somewhere.
sounds like Veronica's due diligence. Right. Okay. Very good. So get in touch with Carl if you want to get onto that very quickly, as it's just going onto the internet today at some point. You say? Yeah,
I think I sent you my email address there. I don't know if you can flash it on the screen or not. No problem.
Okay. Of course I will. Of course I will. But make sure people can get in touch with. Well, not only this one, but other properties that you've got at the agency, of course. How's life at the agency? I guess that you've got loads of fabulous properties and some of that timeless luxury that's on the slide as well.
Yeah, that I failed to bring to you this morning.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, if you want to see timeless luxury, I mean, seriously, go onto our website. We have some absolutely amazing properties. I know Christopher at the minute is going to be listing a property that's like over 30 million euros. I think it'll be the most expensive property in the country. I mean, you're looking at some seriously impressive stuff. But yeah, selfishly today, I've decided to hawk my own goods.
You're on the show, as you should.
Yes, and the likes of you and Bobby O'Reilly popularising Margin Sul. It is the south of the river. There that's going to absolutely be booming, isn't it? Yeah, it already is. Some might argue, but it's been overlooked for too many years.
It is, and the thing is, I was actually at an open house with some colleagues on the other side of the bridge last week, and one of our investors came over to me and said, "You know what? If Margin Sul had more international schools, I would be living there and not in Cascais." So that just shows you. And the thing is, there is an international school here now. We do have the Almada International School, which is sort of in the first 2 years of its life. So the sort of each school year they will grow again. And I know the school that my kids go to was just bought out by a British company that runs international schools. So I've got a feeling that they're going to flip what is now a private Portuguese school. I've got a feeling that maybe, and I don't know this, but that maybe they'll turn that into a full international school in the future. So things like that are really driving people to Margin Sul. And in particular, like Araúeira, this Araúeira Verdizel later, Dad Araúeira.
Yeah.
it's a hotbed. I mean, it's just filled with expats now. You know, I mean, you know, they're everywhere.
Yeah, don't let that put you off. It's an amazing.
Well, there's a pro and a con to that, you know.
No, there is, but I mean, it's not like, you know,
some people need it.
Some places in the Algarve, some people might argue, you know, it's too many expats for them. You know, but there's always going to be different concentrations. You go to Cascais, and obviously there's a heavy concentration of foreign nationals there. But it is starting to happen here. But it's just a natural consequence of, you know, if you've got, you know, €1 million to spend, let's say, and I know that's a lot of money for a lot of people. It's a lot of money to me, but it'll buy you a lot more in Margin Sul than it possibly ever could in places like Cascais or Estoril, you know, which is, they're the names people know, but that money's starting to move over here. Well, it just is. And
there may be people who hear about it for the first time. Eliane also with us on that point. Bon dia, Margin Sul rocks. It absolutely does. And there may be people who thank you in years to come for just alerting you to that. You know, looking south of the river instead of north, and finding an absolute, delightful place to live, frankly. And you can, you know, the further south you go from there, you can have some amazing day outs in the national park there, can't you? Rabida National Park. And you're on the right side of the river to avoid police chases and major congestion as well.
Well, there's the thing as well. There are 2 bridges. So, I mean, from my house, I can be in Lisbon Centre in 20 minutes with no traffic, admittedly. I can be at the airport in 30 minutes. But even if that bridge is snarled up, then I just go to the Vasco da Gama, and it's 40 minutes to the airport. So which
is like an experience as well, isn't it, in its own right? Driving across that bridge is just one of those very special experiences. The train across the 25 de Abril and driving across the Vasco da Gama, amazing, absolutely amazing. A bit of personal housekeeping for you here, Carl. Lots of love to you and the family, Carl. We have some oil and homemade goodies for you guys when we next get to Lisbon. How about that? So your next olive oil is on its way. Please chase this, says Pam. Good morning to you, Pam. Reminds me of living in Manchester. Oh, Salford. Oh. Lower. Is that Broughton? Would that be
Lower Broughton, Salford? Yeah, it's a tough place.
It is, and you get a Lee doppelganger surfing in the local cafe. Nobody wants that. And if God, on this matter of nudist beaches and any squeamishness that may have arisen, if God meant for us to go around nude, we'd have been born that way. Wait, yes. Run the river. I don't think this is nudist. That's probably expats. Or maybe the Venn diagram of expat nudists, which you probably would want to run if you had one of those running towards you. Okay, we're in the last couple of minutes. You've got to do a God Squad tip of the day. We also need to wish Gav, our mate Gav, a happy birthday for yesterday, and it's Gary Orgel's birthday. So I'll buy you a pint when I see you in Castellano de Pera, Gary, at the beer festival later on this month. Will you stay with us, Veronica and Carl, for a bit of a God Squad tip of the day? Then this is useful actually for your clients. This is training for when you're coming to Portugal to do your scouting trip to get in good shape for that. Bom dia, meus amigos. Feliz Quinta a todos. Senior Service was my mum's favorite brand. It was cigarettes, as well as a catchy title for talking about senior living this morning. That didn't have filters in them, did they, Senior Service? I don't think. We're talking about cigarettes. A day of gentle sun here today, so plenty of walking. That's British mums smoking unfiltered cigarettes. How about that? Hope with their eye watering and slightly yellow side of one face. Hope the fire situation is improving. It is improving. It's not under control yet, as you've seen some of the statistics and reports from our gumpers in the chat this morning. God Squad tip of the day then. We looked at technique for walking on a level surface yesterday, but in Portugal, that doesn't get you very far. So true. There are likely to be hills, so how you walk up and down them. So be careful about how you walk up and down them. As the ground begins to rise, you will increasingly land towards your forefoot, with each step. The steeper the slope, the more that point moves forward until your heel doesn't touch the floor at all. You naturally have to bend your knees, and a lot of force has to be applied by your quads, much like climbing stairs. I don't know about you two, but I've got this in mind as a nudist doing this for some reason this morning.
Naturally. Naturally.
Thank you, Carl Hyde. But you can still help by engaging your calves and extending your ankles. Remember, those are ballet dancing, nude ballet dancing. Remember those who are
no.
Thinking of that pirouette with all that, you know.
No,
I'm thinking of Sugar Plum Fairies.
Those bingo wings.
Remember with the Senior Service hanging out your mouth. Remember, those are the smaller muscles that expend less energy. Coming down a slope, conversely, you will naturally land on your heels. This is when you should try to allow your knees to give a little, sensible footwear when you're coming on your scouting trip to Portugal.
Yes.
So if you must wear stilettos, have some trainers in your handbag as well, and you women too. This cushions the impact, helping to prevent injury. Again, you will be using your quads, but take care not to walk too quickly. It is easy to overstride or fall. Take more care. Tomorrow, mincing on the beach. It will be the God Squad tip of the day on hot sand and just maybe a mere budgie smuggler thong or something like that. Can't wait. Can you?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, Veronica. Thank you, Carl. We've got a last image though here, Veronica. Did you mean to send me this for public sharing?
Yeah, that's just made me think of them when they came, of Lawrence and Sally.
Okay, and are you all getting charged up at an electrical power point?
That's it. The car couldn't plug in, so we plugged in. No, they're so much fun, just like they are on the TV show. They're always joking and having fun. That's the old town of Faro there, and I took them all around the old town and in the museum. And especially because they buy antiques all over the world. They're so much fun. And
TV celebrities, wherever you look on the sheet, right? The American in Portugal, the agency guy, incredible. So many celebs, VIP Central here. And of course, as I showed at the beginning of the show this morning, there's a Festival of Piripiri in Albufeira. That's happening towards the end of the month. And officially, it is Talk Like a Pirate every September the 19th. So be ready for next year. And you can even buy the T-shirt online. Thanks, T-Duck, for alerting us towards that. And a random picture of a rock. I had Bob Wenger, who you saw is in San Martino this morning. So I'm with Colin. Now, can you see them? I can't see them. I think it's a general picture of Obidos where Colin happened to be, but I can't see. It's like, where's Waldo? Where's Colin? I can't see him in that picture. I will stick that in the Portugal Club so anyone with a magnifying glass can have a closer look, which takes us back to nudist beaches, of course. Thank you very much, Veronica. Thank you, Carl. Take care, everybody. And we'll see you tonight for the Expats Portugal webinar, which is a virtual wine tour with World of Wines. Wow. Tonight, Diego from there is going to be with us, taking us around for a wine tour. So join us for that. And the Dream Team at 9. Have a great day. I'll see you lovelies next month. Take care. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Ciao.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.